We are live now, sir.
Yes.
So, very good evening to all.
Good evening, sir.
We'll start in just 1 minute. Kindly allow me only 1 minute, sir. So, आज हमारे साथ CA Soman N L Sir हैं. Let me give the brief introduction about the sir. Sir is a chartered accountant and partner with Rajesh Karan and Matthew, chartered accountant from Ernakulam, with area of the specialization in indirect tax and GST. Sir worked in the industry with Messrs. Kochi Refinery Limited and Messrs. BPCL Bharat Petroleum. More than 2 decades of the industrial experience in handling the indirect tax, including excise, custom, import-export, service tax, SEZ, foreign trade policy, and now the GST. Sir has served as a convener of the study group of the ICAI New Delhi for the GST in the state of Kerala for the period from 2016 to 2019. Sir has also co-opted member of the IDT committee of SIRC of ICAI for the year 22-23. Faculty for the training program of the ICAI New Delhi for various stakeholders, including excise officer and Indian Air Force officer. Sir as faculty for the indirect tax for the CA, CS, CMA courses at ICAI, ICSI, and CWI. Speaker on the GST for the professional body, trade and industry, tax professional, MG University, Teachers Association, college, and the schools. And by this, I would request every member that we are very glad to have Soman N L Sir with us, and we can start the technical deliberation. You can post your query in the YouTube. Sir, over to you. If you like to add something, then we can start. So
Thank you so much, sir. Good evening to one and all. I take it as an opportunity, a grand honor for me to be among you people, the learned group of professionals who are keen to know the new law, that is the GST law. Still we are learning, and it is part of our learning exercise. I would like to get something from you rather than I delivering something to you. That's what. Because what I want to say is that I'm not an expert. I just confess to you that I am not an expert in GST, because you know very well it is a vast ocean and nobody can, a person like me or an ordinary person cannot become an expert by this time. Anyway, we will try for that. Right, sir. Thank you. Over to you.
Very nice, sir. Very nice and very humble. तो सर स्टार्ट करते हैं, क्वेश्चन जब तक आते हैं. Only one point which I like to ask, and I like to take your view regarding the ITC. See, we all know that for 17-18 and 18-19, the circular has been issued 183, which gives the benefit that even if the same is not appearing in 2A, you can take the ITC subject to certain certification. But the trade is facing the problem regarding that now to get the certificate either from supplier or from their chartered accountant is really very, very difficult. So they are feeling that it is somehow more complex condition which is being imposed compared to 2A. So in that case, what to do? What is your suggestion? Means how to handle the same?
Yeah, it is just passing on the burden from one shoulder to another. That's what I can read from that notification. The intention of the government should be to give the facility, or rather allow the people, the taxpayers, to get the benefit which is naturally, it's legally or legitimately available to them. We all know during the initial days, nobody was aware about the pros and cons of these particular aspects, especially in 2017-18 and 18-19 for that matter.
Right.
So ITC sections pose some restrictions on taking the input tax credit. That is, conditions for availing input tax credit was prescribed in the Act. But there is a natural justice to be given to the taxpayer, that without knowing the whereabouts of our taxpayer, whether he has paid the tax to the government or not, it is a rather difficult situation for us to take it forward. Because we all know section 16(2) subsection section 16 subsection 2 clause C. The tax thereon should have been paid to the government by, of course, by the supplier. How the recipient know about the payment aspect? So in that aspect, in that same scenario, what I would request our lawmakers, or rather we have even represented also, and all of the trade associations are making a request that instead of going for this sort of a certificate from the chartered accountant or the supplier for that matter, why can't this benefit be given to the taxpayer with all, if all the available documents are with him? It is, of course, on the part of the department to ensure that the tax has been received from his supplier. That is no way connecting, or no way a burden. That should not be a burden for the taxpayer recipient to avail the input tax credit. That is my view. And also, the department always say that the onus of proving that it is a genuine input tax credit lies upon the taxpayer. But in years back, the Supreme Court has already taken a view in a 3-judge member bench that in 1964, the Supreme Court has demarcated what is the burden of proof and the onus of proof. When there is a burden of proof on one person, the other party has to give him sufficient records or sufficient information to support or to give a contra burden of proof. What I mean to say, there is an onus of proof always lies upon the department. How can department say, this is the only question, how can department say that the tax has not been paid to the government by his supplier by going through GSTR 2A or 3B of that person? So first of all, the honor should be on the department. Then only the department can ask the taxpayer to prove that this is genuine. And the taxpayer is no way available, or the reports are not way on his side. He is no way bound to look into the whereabouts or the other payment aspects of the supplier. So 16(2)C is, it's a difficult situation. And 183 circular says that if the certificate itself is sufficient, why can't this certificate be given by the taxpayer himself? An affidavit will do, no? Anyway, that is, it is not solving the problem. 183 is not solving the problem. Yes, sir.
Great, sir. So I request, sir, sir, can you please see the first query of Advocate Sandeep Tomarji on the YouTube?
Let me see.
So if you want would be.
Yeah, I am taking.
Yeah, please.
Right. It's not solving the problem. 183 is not solving the.
I think there is a. So I request, sir, sir, can you mute the YouTube, sir? That's it. First query of Advocate Sandeep Tomarji on the YouTube.
I can. Let me see.
Sir, one request, sir. Sir, in the YouTube, you have to mute that YouTube so that the voice should not come.
Yeah, I am taking. Right. Yes. Is it okay, sir?
Yeah, perfect. Okay, perfectly. Okay.
So Advocate Sandeep says, sir, हम freight forwarder है और हम goods को outside India बेचते हैं.
Sir, if you're not comfortable in Hindi, then you tell me. I'll do the same.
Yeah, you can just translate to me.
Sure. Sir, they are the freight forwarder.
So what if it's something?
Sir, may I request again, sir?
One second. What is the issue, right, sir?
Sir, I think the another system in which YouTube is there now, you have to mute that system so that the voice should not be replicated.
I will close that. Rather it is. It's okay, sir? Right.
Perfectly okay.
Okay.
So how you would be able to see the question then?
I can see that question, but it is.
No, that I will translate. So
Right.
I
can see
that I'm sharing with you.
Yeah.
Sir, they are freight forwarder. Okay. And they are sending the goods outside India. And insurance of that goods. So how you would be able to sir, 1 minute, sir, only 1 minute. Sir, I'll show you that particular. Say, for example, this is YouTube, right? You can see on the screen. And what happened? I have click on the mute button here. You can see here. So now the YouTube would be open.
I will come back, sir. Something wrong.
No problem, sir. Sir, no issue, sir. You can see on my screen. You can leave it. You can see on my screen.
Yes.
Is it okay now?
But I am seeing my own picture. Yeah, right. Now I am able to see you.
They are the freight forwarder and they are sending the goods outside India. And they are taking the insurance from ICICI Lombard. से टाई अप है आईसीआईसीआई लोम्बार्ड जिसका गुड्स है उसका टैक्स एक सेकंड हम फ्रेट फॉरवर्डर है और हम गुड्स को आउटसाइड इंडिया भेजते हैं और उस गुड्स का इंश्योरेंस करवाते हैं हमारा आईसीआईसीआई लोम्बार्ड से टाई अप है आईसीआईसीआई लोम्बार्ड जिसका गुड्स है उसको टैक्स इनवॉइस देते हैं पर पेमेंट हम डायरेक्टली पार्टी से लेते हैं और उस पार्टी को बिल देते हैं क्या उस इंश्योरेंस अमाउंट पर टैक्स लगाना है हम एक तरफ से मीडिएट सी दे आर सेइंग सी व्हाट दे आर सेइंग दे आर द थ्री पार्टी इन्वॉल्व्ड वन is the supplier who is sending the goods outside India.
Yes.
Shipping company, let's say. So they are taking the insurance from the ICICI Lombard.
Yes.
But what happened? The ICICI Lombard is raising the tax invoice directly to the party to whom goods are belong. Let's say it is raising the bill on the actual exporter.
Okay.
But the payment is being routed through that shipping line company. So first that exporter is giving the payment to him and that party giving the payment to the ICICI Lombard because they are having that tie-up with the ICICI Lombard. So in that case, he is asking that whether they have to raise the tax invoice while collecting the payment. Do they need to charge the GST?
Let me understand the question once again. That is,
sure.
They are the freight forwarders. They are doing their service for and on behalf of an exporter. That exporter, then what is the role of that ICICI Lombard? They are giving the insurance.
Correct. And also bill is raising to the exporter only, directly in the name of the exporter.
Right. So there are 2-3 transactions involved. ICICI Lombard is raising or giving a service to the exporter.
Right.
He raising the tax invoice on the exporter.
Right.
They are providing the service to the exporter.
For insurance service, right? For
insurance.
Right, sir.
And the second aspect is the freight forwarders are, I think they are acting as intermediaries in this regard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Collecting the payment and then they are giving the same to the ICICI.
ICICI. In other words, they are pure agent like.
Absolutely correct, sir. Absolutely.
Right. Oh, no. Now what is the question like?
So when the pure agent collecting the amount of the insurance, so should they charge the GST or not?
No, they are not actually giving any service. The service is between the exporter and the ICICI Lombard.
Right.
Okay, they are only acting as a pure agent. That's what I understand from this question.
Correct, sir.
Pure agent. Pure agent need not do anything. Only thing is that he has to follow the conditions prescribed in section rule 33, I think so.
Right. Rule 33.
Rule 33, yeah.
So absolutely correct.
That's all.
The-
That's all will be.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Sandeep ji, the answer would be ki you are not required to raise, you are not required to charge GST on the amount which you're collecting of the ICICI Lombard insurance का payment जब आप collect करते हैं transport that exporter से, so you simply raise the invoice without charging any GST because you are acting as a pure agent. Next question I'm taking, Praveen Solanki ji, CGST rule 41 says that supplier has actually paid the taxes through credit ledger or cash, but tax not paid by the supplier. So receiver can take a question.
CGST rule 40 that I can answer it. CGST rule 41 say that supplier has actually paid tax through rule 41. Rule 41 means they have transferred the that is applicable in the case of transfer of input tax credit, no? Rule 41, yeah. Rule 41 transfer of input tax at the time of transfer of a business. Is
Right.
it? Yeah.
Ah.
So it says that tax has actually paid through credit ledger or cash ledger, but tax not paid by the supplier. So receiver can take ITC. I think rule 41.
Something question you are talking.
I think if rule 41 is the case, rule 41 is relating to transfer of input tax credit by the transferor to the transferee in case of sale, merger, etc.
Right. Let me open that particular rules in front of the screen. I am sharing the screen.
Yeah.
And everyone can see the screen. Now, I open the CBSE website and let me go to the rule 41. So transfer of the credit, separate registration for multiple places of the business within the state. And that is 41 capital.
Yeah,
Transfer
41A,
the credit
that
on
is 41A.
sale, merger, amalgamation, right?
Yeah.
I think he is talking about section 41, probably.
Probably section 41.
Which has been recently substituted.
Section 41 means that is
Availment of the input tax credit.
no. Section 41 is not availment of input tax credit. That is.
No, tax has been paid by the supplier. So first they will take the credit as self-assessed in his the return. Praveen Solanki ji, I request that kindly raise the question once again. It is not clear actually.
Section 41(7). Let us see that also. Section say that the supplier has actually paid a tax through credit ledger. Okay, using input tax credit or cash ledger, but tax not paid by supplier. So receiver no. So anyway, the action is that if the tax is not paid to the government by the supplier in any form, either by discharging the tax liability through credit ITC or cash, the recipient cannot take in input tax credit because it violates the provisions of section 16(2)(c).
Absolutely correct. Absolutely.
Sir, can you hear me or?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay.
So the point is, recently the government has made a rule also, rule 37 capital A in this regard. Correct. So that if that supplier not paid the taxes by September after the end of the financial year,
exactly.
So they have given, initially they have given slight relaxation, I can say. So if the supplier has not paid the taxes till September, then I, being a recipient, has to reverse the ITC till November without any interest. If I do the reversal after November, it will be applicable interest as per section 50. So absolutely correct. So ITC nahi milega. That's Praveen ji. I hope it is clear. Another question, sir.
देते हैं PR payment. It is from
Praveen Solanki ji.
Okay, again, Praveen Solanki. We have received a service from CA for subsidy regarding TUF. CA sir issued a tax invoice, professional charge. Can receiver take ITC? Why not? What is the service he has given? Service. See, if I understood the question correctly, let me just reiterate. We have received a service from chartered accountant for subsidy regarding TUF. What is TUF?
What is TUF? I don't know.
Anyway, CA issued a tax invoice, professional charge. For the professional charge, he has issued a tax invoice. Can the receiver take ITC? See, generally, if the expenses is incurred for the business in or in relation to the business, then whatever expenses he has incurred by the taxpayer is eligible for input tax credit subject to the provisions of section rule number 42 and 43. That is common input case. Otherwise, if it is a genuine, is a professional charges for the business, the taxpayer can take input tax credit based on the tax invoice provided by the chartered accountant. So receiver can take invoice. If it is a specific case, any other situation, let us see what is exact situation. If TUF, I am not able to understand what is regarding that TUF. If
correct. So I feel that once you clear that UF, then we can add some more fact. But as of now, yes.
You also agree with me, sir?
Every angle is being touched. Correct, sir. Correct, sir. So, sir, Advocate Sandeep Tomar ji ka question hai.
I will read.
Yeah,
can
please.
we take input tax credit of the phone? We have bought 2 phones, but the department is denying it and getting it reversed. See, conditions for eligibility and conditions for availing the input tax credit section 16.1 and 16.2. There, and also we'll have to read the blocked items in 17.5, section 17, subsection 5, blocked items. So long as it is not blocked. First thing is that section 16.1, every taxpayer, every registered person can avail the input tax credit of the inputs, services and capital goods he has used for the business. Telephone is used for the business. We'll have to prove that the telephone is used for the business. Then you can avail input tax credit. Of course, you will have to prove that. And if it is a common device, that is, you are using it for both taxable purposes as well as for your non-business purposes, it will come under rule number 42, that is common input situation. We will have to proportionately reverse, avail the input tax credit and proportionately reverse that portion pertaining to the non-business category. Okay. Otherwise, you can take. Department cannot deny that. You have to prove that. In that case, burden is lying upon you only, burden of proof. Right, sir?
Right, sir. Right.
Okay.
So he has given that regarding, I think Praveen Solanki ji, department say ITC regarding subsidy, refund textile upgradation.
Department says ITC regarding subsidy, refund, textile upgradation.
I don't know.
Anyways, we can just presume that this is his business, textile business, upgradation, anything used for business purpose, he can avail tax paid on the inputs and input services, subject to always rule number 40 to 43 relating to the common inputs and input services. And 43 is common inputs or common input tax on the capital goods. So here it is only inputs and input services, rule number 42. Right.
So he is saying, Advocate Sandeep Tomarji is saying that yes, it is for business purpose only.
Only business purpose he can avail. Then one more thing I wanted to caution you, whenever we are availing that input tax credit, see the 4 conditions which are mandatory. One is section 16.2, A, there should be a tax invoice. C, B, we should have received the goods or the services. C, the tax thereon should have been paid to the government by understood supplier. Then 4th one, we ourselves shall file the return under section 39. Adding to that, 2 more groups are added there, but only thing is that we have to ensure these 4 plus 2 conditions added into that. Right. And it should appear in the GSTR number 2A or 2B. That is what the department says by adding section 16.2 AA. Right. Yes, sir.
Oh, TUF means textile upgradation. Okay. So Praveen Solanki is textile upgradation. So is it exempt? Praveen Solanki ji, is that exempt supply? Just asking. Meanwhile, sir, there is another question for
we will do. My client provides job work service in India on goods provided by a foreigner. The goods returned outside India after job work and the payment will be received in dollars. Is this an export of services? See, for export of services, we will have to go through the export provisions, that is the customs provisions. for treating it as an export of services, there should be 6 conditions. I think it is 4 conditions. Yeah, we should receive the exporter shall be in India, then the importer outside India. Second one, third one, the place of supply shall also be outside India. Place of supply shall also be outside India. Then fourth one, dollar. We should receive in convertible foreign currency. Concession shall be received in convertible foreign currency. Apart from the other customs formalities, these are the 4 situations. These are the C conditions to be satisfied for treating any service which is exported, which is we normally say exported, which is given to outside India. So essentially 4 conditions. Exporter is in India, it's okay. You are doing the work. Job worker is here. Then recipient of the service is outside India. Your foreign client is outside India. Third one, place of supply is in India or not. You will have to see whether it is in India, because we have place of supply provisions in GST Act, Section 13. Section 13 is relevant because one of you, that is the supplier of the service yourself, and the recipient of the service is outside India. If any person is outside India, we will have to go through the provisions of Section 13 of the IGST Act. If the place of supply happens to be outside India, then 4th condition is we will have to see that whether the consideration is received, that he confirms that it is received in dollars. Take care of the place of supply. If it is outside India, you can treat it as exporter services. Otherwise, tax will be applicable on that.
I like to add something, sir.
Yes.
Chandni, according to your question that job work is happening. So the doubt basically, as sir told, the doubt is basically around with the place of supply. So if you refer the section 13 subsection 3 clause A, so it talks about the place of the performance would be the place of supply, prima facie, correct? But there is a proviso. The proviso to the 13 subsection 3, the proviso says if the goods are imported temporary and after doing the job work, after doing the work, anything, and you are exporting again, then the 13 subsection 3 would not be applicable. What does it mean? It means it will be determined according to the general principle which is being given in 13 subsection 2. So according to 13, so in your case, the 13 subsection 2 would come into the picture. And the 13 subsection 2 says that LOR, location of recipient, that the outside India, would be your place of the supply. And so the place of the supply would be outside India in your case, and the rest of the things, if you satisfied, like if you're receiving the foreign currency, etc., then your transaction would be definitely export of service, no denial to that fact. Sir, over to you to the next question, please, sir.
Yes, yes. You have added that place of supply provisions also, right? Good. Then in case of refund of export dealer, what is the criteria of recredit or refund back? As one of my client go for recredit instead of refund through RFD 01. Okay. In case of refund of export dealer, what is the criteria of recredit?
Sir, any idea what? I don't know. What is the recredit concept?
Probably, sir, if the the officer is not giving you refund, then he has to credit it back to his account, no?
Okay.
Okay, so the moment we apply for a refund in RFD 01,
okay,
our input as credit ledger balance will get reduced to that extent.
Right.
Suppose the refund is not sanctioned fully, or if the refund is not at all sanctioned, then it will come and sit back in the that is our credit ledger.
Fine.
Something like that may be related to that. Was one of my client is, instead of refund through RFD 01, he wants to recredit. Recredit means, yeah, then he can utilize that credit for his other activities. Outward supply.
Oh, fine.
Okay.
Fine.
Right, sir.
So the question is,
Rajesh KP.
So the refund. So question is being closed, kya? Is it so? That CapEx solution.
Which is the one, sir?
Sir, which one you are reading? CapEx solution, sir.
Campus solution we have already discussed. That is one.
Okay.
We have. Yeah. Then next one I can see is this session is only handling ITC. What to do?
No. every question, sir. I have given that. Like.
Okay. Right.
सर एडवोकेट संदीप तोमर जी का क्वेश्चन मैं ले लेता हूं क्योंकि हिंदी में पूछा है, मैं ले लेता हूं एंड नेक्स्ट यू कैन टेक. ठीक है.
Yes.
Sir, the party which has, अच्छा, sir has asked the question in English only. Great.
Yeah.
The party which which we have purchased has been closed by the department with back date, and they are sending the notice to me to reverse the ITC. But by the time we bought the goods from him, his return was filed. So I think they are talking about back date cancellation, retrospective cancellation. So ITC is also being denied. So what to do in that case? See, the only point then department can raise, you have to substantiate and then you have to file the appeal, because the department at initial phase, they are not accepting that the ITC are eligible or not. If he has filed, he has paid the taxes, everything is closed, then ideally you should not reverse. And if you are the bona fide recipient, then obviously you are not required to reverse the ITC. But problem is you have to take the you have to approach the appellate mechanism. Then only this matter would get settled. Initial phase, you won't get any relief. Sir, MKL NLP, I think. Sir, over to you.
MKLLP, yeah. GST registration suspended on 2nd April 2023. We submitted our response on 5th April, clarifying the issue. Suspension, yeah. But sir, till date, department have neither activated it nor any further communication was sent to us. Suspension was on 2nd April, submitted our response on 5th April, clarifying the issue. But sir, till date, department have neither activated it. Activated means we have complied with all the provisions. That is why this was suspended, because is it based on a voluntary application of the cancellation of the registration or suo motu cancellation process. In both the cases, the department will suspend the registration for some time. That is rule number 21, I think. Here, suspend the registration. So they have suspended the registration means it is based on a pre-activity, which is the cancellation process. Now we have submitted our response on 5th April, clarifying the issue. What to clarify then? That is, they are cancelling, their cancellation process is not viable, or rather we have complied with all the provisions such as the filing of the return, etc. If they are satisfied with that, they have to withdraw that suspension and they will reinstate your registration process. That is, they will issue an order reinstating that. I am not able to understand which is the one referred to here, whether suspension of registration or cancellation of the registration. If it is suspension of registration, it should be based on a pre-action. Pre-action is suo motu cancellation process or voluntary cancellation process. Could you please elaborate on that? You submitted.
Meanwhile, we can move to the another question. Chandni Gupta is saying that what to do if the clerical mistake posed in e-invoice and the time to cancel also lapse. Please tell me what is the clerical mistake. So accordingly, we can add our view. Ragnish ji is saying, sir, over to you. My client is a tour operator. In the case of the vehicle using carrying passenger, can we make the bill on the RCM basis? Currently, we are billing the 12%. One of the client asking on the basis on RCM basis.
That is for RCM.
And sorry, sir. He has added that we are the proprietor and dealing with the body corporate.
Oh, we are the proprietor and dealing with the body corporate. Yeah. So one of the conditions for RCM is that the supplier of the service shall be not non-body corporate entity and the recipient is a corporate entity. Then you can go for it is an RCM case only. It is an RCM case. Reverse charge mechanism you can, and you should not be charging 12% rate. And the condition is that you will be offering or giving that vehicle with the all incidental expenses for fuel and all. So that condition is specifically mentioned. Notification number 13 to 2017, entry number 14 or 15.
15.
Yeah, right.
It's 15. There
it is clear that the only thing is that non-corporate entity providing service and corporate entity receiving the service are similar. Yeah.
Right. The only one point, third condition. What is the third condition? Ragnish, KP, what is the third condition? See, what is the third condition you're talking about? So you have to ensure that condition, all the condition of that RCM notification has been satisfied.
We can expand.
So let me open the on the screen itself that particular condition. Right, sir?
Yeah. I am not able to see this. What is it?
What are you not able to see, sir?
I am seeing only the queries, not even you. I am not seeing you also.
Okay.
Anyway, right, I am hearing the sound, no issue. And seeing the queries also, no problem. We'll continue that. Okay. See that for 15, that is enter number 15, I think. Yeah. Enter number 15 of notification number 13/2017 reverse charge. You are taking it on the screen. I am not seeing it, but can you elaborate on that?
Sir, it is being saying I am not yet shared on the screen. Just now I'm shared. Then actually see that is it visible or not? If not, then I'll read out.
You can read because I am not able to see.
Perfect, no problem, sir.
Yeah. Services provided by
service provided by way of renting of motor vehicle designed to carry the passenger, where the cost of the fuel is included in the consideration provided to the body corporate. So might be the question is that that cost of the fuel is not included. Is it what you like to say? Let me see on the screen. Mr. Ragnish Kumar, would you like to supply does not rate? Does not rate. See, the point is, so देखो क्या point है मैं आपको बता देता हूँ. See, the point is you have to satisfy all the condition. Then if you are charging 12%, again, it is clear that RCM would not be applicable because the notification, that particular serial number is getting clearly say that supplier should not charge the GST at the rate of 12%. So in that case, if you are opting RCM, if you do not like to charge, so remove that GST. Then the recipient will pay the tax under forward charge.
Sir, can I add one more thing?
Please.
Sir, probably he may be looking at notification number 13/2017, but he will not get that serial number there. Instead, he has to look into notification number 29/2019. Correct.
First, you have to see 30th September, and then which is substituted on 29/2019, 31st December.
Yeah.
So you can refer that notification, but he's saying that he's charging 12%, so that is the problem. So he should not charge the GST if he like to opt forward. If he like to opt RCM, then he should not like to charge. He cannot charge 12% because once you charge 12%, you will be out from RCM notification. That is the point. If it is not clear, then kindly raise the concern.
Sir, one more thing. If he charges 12%, he can avail input tax credit on his inputs and input services, etc. Probably that may be the reason he is charging 12%. Otherwise, if he does not want to take input tax credit on his supply of services, perfect. He can pass it on to the body corporate. Yeah.
Right. That's point important. So Chandni is saying that invoice number mistaken 334 instead of 34. So you can do the amendment in the particular GSTR1. That's it. So based on GSTR1, the recipient 2A would be 2A to B would be updated. So the problem would be resolved. It is not required to cancel, or it is not required to again generate the e-invoice at all. Sir, next question over to you, Praveen Solanki ji ka question.
Yeah, company issued a tax invoice under e-invoice and ARN number also generated. Sometime company.
Sir, at the bottom he has again written company amendment in the invoice in tally, but GST. I think question complete nahi hai, sir.
Okay, company issued a tax invoice under e-invoice. Okay, AR number also generated. Sometime company after that, what is this issue?
At the last question, sir.
Last portion it is there. E-invoice, tax invoice is issued and generated ARN number after some 2-day invoice amendment in tally. But in GST portal shown old data, we can upload manually. Anyway, ARN is generated means they have already registered. Registered in the sense number is already raised. Number is there. and that number should automatically come into his GSTR1. And after 2 day invoice amendment tally, but in GST portal shown old data. What was the requirement of this amendment? Like, because once ARN is raised or generated, instead of canceling that e-invoice, because within 24 hours you'll have to cancel that. Was there any generation of a subsequent invoice? It's not. Sir, what do you
No
think?
problem. So, but in GST portal shown old data, we can upload manual. So in my view, basically, so to the extent I understand, still there is some clarity required, but to the extent I understand, say for example, that party has made the e-invoice and uploaded the same. Now there is some changes in the invoice number. So he's asking, can he upload manually? So there's a correction. I can understand. So I can correlate your question with Miss Chandni Gupta, because I feel that there is some correction in the e-invoice. I feel so. So you can do the correction manually if you like to do, because it is already uploaded in the e-portal. The data would come automatically in the GSTR1. So if you like to change, you can change, but manually you have to change. Agar Praveen Solanki ji, if still the question is not answered, please redraft, ठीक है ना, मतलब ताकि थोड़ा क्लैरिटी मिल जाए हमें. सर मैं आपको क्वेश्चन, आई थिंक बीच में कई क्वेश्चन आ गए. संदीप तोमर जी का क्वेश्चन.
Yeah. Has the payment not been made to the party? It has been more than 180 days, rule 37. Now department has sent the notice. Yeah, we'll have to see. Within 180 days, we'll have to pay to the supplier. Rule 37 is very clear, and you are declaring that reversal in your 3B also. There is a specific provision to show if there is any reversal on account of this non-payment of amount to the supplier. We'll have to specifically mention in the current 3B under Rule 37, Rule 42, Rule 43, then 17.5 items, etc. We'll have to reverse. In this case, department the notice is very genuine, and you will have to pay the amount at the earliest. That is only I can say. Is it so, sir?
Sir, I have slightly different view regarding this Rule 37. See, I have the 3 point. I always say regarding the 180 days reversal, I have always 3 point. The point number one, that suppose I'm starting with the proviso to 16 subsection 2, which talks about a failure to pay to the supplier within 180 days. The word failure to pay.
Yeah.
So who will decide failure to pay? Whether department can decide failure to pay? Answer is no. In my view, supplier and customer who is doing the business, they have the full authority to decide the terms of contract, etc. Let's say if I have the terms of the contract of 1 year, you cannot say I am failure to pay after 180 days. So that can be challenged. Point number one. Point number two, regarding this 180 days. See, one more point. The 180 days, basically, I become ineligible from ITC on 180th day. 180th day. Actually, 180 दिन जब खत्म होता है, अगर if I have not made the payment on that day, then I become ineligible. So the interest should not be leviable just because for entire 180 days. It should be started from 181 days. Second and third point, I will say the department always insists the reversal with interest. But my dear friend, we all know section 50 subsection 3 has been retrospectively amended from July 17, which talks about regarding the ITC, which talks about availed and utilized. If it is still lying in my ledger, department can't ask the interest, even though it is clearly saying in the Rule 37. This is my 3 submission. But yes, the as such tool that it is everything is clearly written. So you have to litigate the matter. Otherwise, department will always levy the GST along with levy the reverse, ask the reversal along with interest. Sir.
Sir, litigation is always at a cost.
Correct. हाँ, वो ध्यान रखना. Litigation इतना easy नहीं है. The litigation would also involve the cost. You have to calculate which is beneficial. So for example, there is only 10,000 reversal. So, and you have to pay like 50,000 to the consultant or the advocate or government or something like that. Then you have to compare that. Sir.
Yes. Next one is Advocate Sandeep. We are returning it with the interest. Will there be any penalty on that, like 73 or 74? Yeah, 73 is there is no penalty if we pay the amount within the prescribed time. Then 74 is cannot be invoked in this case because there is no malified intention or there is no fraudulent action. So penalty will not be there. Only thing, as Arunji has said, there is an interest application. That interest you can challenge if it is worth challenging. Otherwise, they will overrule it. Okay.
Correct, sir.
That's
Sir.
right. Okay. Then next one, sir. Company amendment. Yeah.
चंदन कुमार नहीं, प्रवीण सोलंकी जी का क्वेश्चन हमने रीड कर लिया था, 2-3 पार्ट में था ना क्वेश्चन सर. It's
Oh, all right. Okay.
already discussed.
Yes.
Sir, चंदन कुमार जी.
Next one is, can I take it?
Yeah, please, sir.
Okay. Tax invoice can be, yeah. Can tax invoice be raised during the period of suspension of registration? What do you think, so, sir? Suspension of registration means temporary cancellation.
Correct.
So we cannot do anything. We cannot do anything. We cannot even procure the material. That means your registration is temporarily suspended. That means the process of cancellation is going on. So during that period, we cannot do that. Is it okay, sir?
Yeah, perfectly okay, sir. I
Right.
think it is clearly written in the proviso to the Rule 21 capital A also,
Yes,
if
yes.
I'm not wrong. So you cannot issue the tax invoice by charging the GST.
Okay.
that-
So probably adding to that, non-filing of 9C, department has suspended it. We have filed it and submitted to the department. Okay. So suspended means
No,
suspended
sir,
registration.
sorry, sir. That already taken care because he has asked the question in 2-3 part now. So
Right.
Ganeshan Kalyani ji was the so पहले मैं आपको बता देता हूँ sir. The Ganeshan Kalyani ji was the last week GST expert on our this YouTube channel.
Yeah, I have seen him. Yeah. I've seen that video.
Okay. Hello, Ganeshan sir. Sir, over to you. The question.
Okay. That is, department says that recipient can be held liable to pay GST if supplier has incorrectly adopted HSN attracting 0 GST. Is department correct? Litigation. Department says that recipient can be held liable. Department says that recipient can be held liable to pay GST if supplier has incorrectly adopted HSN attracting 0 GST. Is department. See, the burden of charging or levying GST is on the supplier.
Right.
My view is burden of charging the GST at the correct rate based on the HSN code is upon the supplier. And he has wrongly charged GST means he has not raised the invoice correctly. Tax invoice went wrong. So it is for the department to collect the tax from the or take action against the supplier instead of the recipient. Recipient has not taken any input tax credit on that because he has not seen any input or other tax in the invoice. So he has not taken any input tax also. Is it the answer to that question, or whether that question itself is something more is required on that?
In the same question, Ganeshan Kalyani.
That is, department says the recipient can be held liable. How can the recipient be held liable?
Correct. He cannot be liable. See, that liability to pay the tax of a recipient will come only in case of reverse charge. Otherwise, whatever the mistake of the supplier, he has to correct and he has to collect the same.
Right, sir.
So that cannot be shifted to the recipient. Absolutely correctly answered, sir.
Once again, just to see whether that HSN code is one which is applicable under reverse charge mechanism, because certain goods are also there under reverse charge mechanism, just like you cash in this BD leaves, etc. Unless it is attracting reverse charge mechanism, the responsibility to pay tax is upon the supplier. Right, sir. Can I take the other one?
Yeah, please. I do not have the idea, frankly. That next question.
Okay, throw some thoughts on the recent Supreme Court judgment in the case of Cosmos Film for Rule 9610. Oh, Rule 9610. Okay, Cosmos Film case. It was made applicable on all the issue is that, sir, that is people are procuring the goods for export. there's an exporter, he procures the goods from what is called manufacturer exporter and merchant exporter. Yeah, he goods from with a no, that is a
Deemed export, merchant.
just like they are taking some benefits on the procurement of the material.
Absolutely correct, sir.
Okay, that is a rule number 96. And I have not gone thorough into that Cosmos case, judgment Supreme Court. We will have to study and come out what is the outcome of that analysis, because the department has been sending show cause notices to all the exporters covering this rule 9610 for the last 1 year. And the stake involved is substantial, because they have taken refund. The department says that if you have availed the raw material, that is the raw material which you are going to export, that the merchant exporter procuring the material for export applies for refund and got the refund, the entire amount has to be returned to the department. That is the show cause notice says, rule 9610. I am not familiar with the Supreme Court judgment. I
think that judgment, I also not have read thoroughly, but I think they have reversed the Gujarat High Court decisions. Gujarat High Court decision was in favor of the SSC. Now this Supreme Court judgment, after reversing, it goes to the favor of the revenue. So
revenue only. That means it's a huge burden for the exporters, no?
Yeah, huge burden. Vinit, Puneet and Associates, sir, can you please take up this question?
Yes. Anti-evasion is asking to pay GST for the suppliers ITC whose GST cancelled from date of registration. Please suggest high court case looks.
No, sir. Sir, we will. So I think Vinodji, you are the member of the educating. So I request you please post the question in the group. We will check and then provide the relevant case law for your reference.
Right.
So
then Chandni Gupta.
So
yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Chandni Gupta, over to you, sir.
Tour and traveling client charging GST at 18%, showing 100 rupees service charge on every bill. 18% showing 100% service 100 rupees service charge on every bill. Is it correct? Tour traveling charging GST at 18%, showing 100 rupees service charge on every bill. Additionally, okay, so what I understand is that apart from his normal charges towards the service, he is additionally collecting some amount that is arbitrary, that is on an average basis 100 rupees as a service charge. So here, if he is collecting something extra on account of this business, this supply of service alone, rule as that is section 15 will attract any amount, any consideration which he receives in the course of this supply of service will have to be added to the output tax liability, to the value for calculating the output tax liability. If he is not including this amount also in the valuation, then the valuation itself is wrong. And the GST rate also will be, a GST amount will also would have gone wrong if that is the situation. What about, sir, this, your view on that?
Sir, same view ki not in, you are saying that he's charging 18%, he's charging extra rupees 100. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is what I understand.
Depend upon your business, can depend upon your business whether he's required to charge or not. So most of the cases, say for example, tour and travel, what they are doing, they are basically showing they are acting as a pure agent. Okay. So whatever they will collect, and additionally, let's say I am a tour and travel, and you have booked one flight from me. So I will collect actual charges for the flight, and over and above, I will charge, let's say 500 rupees service charge. And on 500, I will charge GST at the rate of 18%. That practice I have seen probably. So
that is a normal practice, sir.
Correct.
That is a normal practice. He will charge only on his service.
So in to that extent he is correct now. To that extent he is correct. This is my view. See, you can add some more input if you like to, if you have. So meanwhile, moving to the next question of Selson.
Sir, before that, my understanding was that he was only charging 500 rupees and levying 18% tax on that. Over and above that, some service charge also he is collecting. Whether it is correct or not, probably that may be his question. That is what I understand. Anyway.
Then it is not correct, sir. I think
that is not correct. Okay. Then Shelson Vincent, he is my student. Yeah.
Oh.
Right. Sir, once e-invoice and IRN is generated, say there is a 700 plus invoices, we have to manually enter the HSN, document number, etc. But I used to upload the JSON generated by ClearTiles, which contain all the.
You can go to the bottom, sir. There is one more part because there is a limitation to add the content.
Right. Which contains all the data, including ban bills. Okay. The JSON will replace original e-invoices. Okay. Upon which the counterparties to be will not show IRN details. Upon which the counterparties to be will not show IRN details. Does it make the counterparties input tax claim invalid? Shelson, something more is required from that side. Once e-invoice and IRN is generated, okay, e-invoice and IRN is generated, right? Then say the 700 plus invoices, you have to manually enter the HSN, document number, etc. Where in GSTR 1, probably
Yes,
GSTR it is an auto using that software. It may be it is an automatic transfer to the GSTR 1 only, no?
Right, sir.
Okay, so but I used to upload
table 12 and table 13, which I need to update the HSNY summary and document numbering. That will be manually.
That will be manual. Okay, so I used to upload JSON file, etc. Clear. Then coming down, the data including bandwidths. The JSON will replace the original invoices. JSON will replace the original invoices, upon which the counterparties to be will show only, will not show the IRN. So that is a grave mistake now. If the IRN is not getting reflected or the invoice details are not getting in the recipient's to be, he will not be able to take the input tax credit. Shelson, we will have to look into thoroughly on that. Okay, we'll have to see, because if the details are not passed on to GSTR to be, recipient will be at jeopardy. So we'll have to look into. We'll see what exactly it is working there.
So now we have correct. Now we have another 5 minutes. I request every member, if you have any question, you can post. Meanwhile, we will take up the balance question.
Yeah.
So next question, let me take, and then I will move to you.
Please.
Ragesh ji, previous quarter previous question on RCM tour operator. Can we charge GST at the 5% of the kind other than body corporate? And please clarify that in exit from. See, the Ragnis, I understand your question. You mean to say that if I am raising the invoice to body corporate, can I opt forward charge? And at the same time, let's say I'm raising the other invoice to the other client, can I opt forward charge? In my view, answer is yes, you can opt both at the same time, unless and until it is being restricted by the for RCM notification 13/2017. Why I am saying so? In the just now, recently, in case of the GTA, the one form has been introduced, Annexure 5. If you like to opt forward charge, you need to furnish that Annexure 5. It means you have the option either go for forward or reverse. So I can say wherever this restriction is being inserted, you do not have the option to opt at the same time both the forward and RCM. But the situation, let's say your renting of motor cab, okay, or any other transaction, if these restrictions are not being embedded, you can opt forward and reverse at the same time. But yes, as sir correctly told, that RCM, outward RCM, will covered in the 17 subsection 3 as an exempt supply, and to that extent you have to reverse your ITC according to the rule 42-43. Sir, next question over to you, sir. Jai Radha Govind.
Right. In the light of the latest amnesty, what is the late fee for 3B and R1?
No change,
and
sir.
Which period is involved in this amnesty? I doubt whether.
No, sir. You are absolutely correct. There is no.
There is any 3B amnesty. 3B and R1 amnesty is not there. Amnesty is there only for GSTR 4, then annual return.
GSTR 10, GSTR 4, and annual return. Yes.
Annual return. And one more thing I wanted to add in this context. See, we have a lot of confusion with regard to that GSTR 4, whether it is annual return or not. And the department also, I have seen a flyer. They have asked the taxpayers to file, the caption is like this: file annual form GSTR 4 return. File annual form GSTR 4 return. That is making or giving a lot of confusion among the taxpayers. For that matter, GSTR 4 is not an annual return. It is filed annually only. And the other one, that is, they have to file that GSTR 9A because their annual turnover is or aggregate turnover is less than 2 crores.
Right, sir.
They need not file the annual return. But the annual return is not replaced with the GSTR number 4. That's what I wanted to convey.
Correct.
Similarly, amnesty scheme is only for the GSTR 4 and not to R1, GSTR 1 and GSTR 3B.
Absolutely.
As of now. Okay. Right.
Let me take the next. Chandni Gupta ji saying, sir, invoice number is not allowed to be edited in R1 for e-invoicing case. Have tried just now. Oh my God. Then it's a problem. Try to raise the ticket. You do not have any choice. Now you do not have any choice. Okay. Try to raise the ticket and then see if any solution is being. Sir, Praveen Solanki ji ka question over to you, sir.
Yeah, we have received a GST notice under ASMT 10, okay, and given reply in ASMT 11. Last 3 months after reply, we not received any order or further communication from the department. Now, if the reply is satisfactory, the officer has to issue ASMT 12.
Right.
Clear it out. No, that the reply is satisfactory. Otherwise, we'll have to just wait and see. It's only scrutiny only, no? That is, they will go for scrutiny. This is only a temporary measure. That is just ASMT 10. We are giving a reply and we cannot demand that order. And there is no, if the law says that if there is, that the reply is favorable to him, then he can issue ASMT 12. Is it right, sir?
Right, sir.
Yeah, that's it. For the last 3 months after the reply, we have not received any order means probably the reply may not be in the way he intended, and he may be planning to move further or proceed further with the show cause notice and all, probably. Anyway, let us wait and see.
Last question for the day, sir. Over to you, Soman sir.
Yes.
Last question, SS.
Yes. I have raised a sale invoice next. I have raised a sales invoice next. I have raised a credit note account in the invoice discount allowed. Amount CGST, amount SGST. It's a financial credit note. HSN mentioned mandatory or not. I'm not properly getting that question, but I will just say invoice credit note. That is for the purpose of raising a credit note, the law to be followed is as per section 34. Section 34 says that we can raise the credit note. The supplier has to take a credit note when the 4 situations arise. That when the value went wrong, that is value is at a higher level, rate of tax is at a higher rate of tax, then there is a sales return, and there is a shortage in the receipt quantity. These are the 4 situations a supplier can raise a credit note. And discount allowed for a credit note means we will have to go to valuation provision. Valuation 15.3, discount instantly allowed in the invoice, no issue, tax is net of discount. If the discount is credit note is raised for a discount, just like a trade discount or later on incentive like that, then there are certain conditions to be satisfied. One of the conditions is that the recipient also shall reverse the input tax credit availed earlier by him to the extent of the credit note raised right now. If that both the supplier and the recipient are not considering the GST element, that is, the supplier is not going to reduce his GST amount based on this credit note, it will be called as a financial credit note. On that, the recipient need not reverse any input tax credit which he has already availed. That is what the summary of that credit note issue, discount related issues on that. HSN mentioned mandatory or not. Yes, mandatory or not. You are referring to the invoice for the purpose of raising a credit note. Invoice number is referred there. That's all we'll do.
Sir, last question. Again, there is one more question. That would be the last. And
my original invoice has many items and many HSN codes. Okay, that is part.
That is being answered. I think that is being answered. Correct.
Sheshadri sir, yeah, our dear colleague.
Okay.
Okay. Kerala High Court in the Union of India versus Kasaragod District Parallel College Association held that parallel colleges preparing students to obtain recognized degree or education qualifications are not to be for service tax. will it be possible to use this judgment under the GST regime? Sir, GST regime, what is an education institution is clearly defined in the Act. If the education institution which is providing educational services, educations to the students to obtain a degree recognized by any law for the time being in force, we can call it as a education institution. Parallel colleges, as of now, we have some cases also. Parallel colleges cannot be working under the guidance, etc., of a university. So, can it be called as an education institution just because this ruling is there? Kerala High Court in Union of University Kasaragod District Parallel College Association can do that. Parallel colleges preparing students to obtain recognized degree or educational qualifications are not to be treated as service, not to be used for service tax. If that is the case, we can use that case also in this scenario, in the current scenario. But here the definitions are very clear. Definitions of education institutions and education service, these are there in the GST, which probably may not have been as clear as in service in the earlier scenario. We will discuss that, sir. Anyway, it's a good judgment, which can be a grip for people who are fighting on this cause. Right, sir.
So fine. So the question is being ended here. I'll take 1 minute, sir, to give the brief introduction of educating. See, we are running the online education in the name of educating. So wherein we are providing the multiple finance related courses like GST, income tax, accounting, multiple courses online, and also one unique concept, that is membership for the GST. And what is the membership? We are categorizing in 3 parts: silver, gold, and platinum. You can refer this particular, you can visit this website to understand in detail, but let me brief about these membership. In the silver, we are providing the question answer. You can ask the question and we are giving the reply on the WhatsApp, as well as now we are shifting to our app. So you have any question, you can ask the question. We will give the reply. If you need any reference like section number, notification, press release, everything we will give on the reply immediate. Almost we are closing the same within 1 or 2 hours. Okay. Next, in the silver membership, we are providing one webinar by the learned expert on monthly basis to update. So to update the basically GST. In the gold membership, what we are extra providing to the tax consultant only, to the tax consultant, not the business houses. Okay. To the tax consultant, we are providing the support in the GST notices. You can draft the reply. And then you can share the reply with us. We will improve the same by adding the relevant judgment or relevant text, relevant case to etc., section rules, anything. This would be the 5 support, 5 judgment. And third thing, in the third, that is platinum membership, in which we can say that we are also providing the free education. It means in that particular bucket, in the platinum membership, we are providing my 65-hour GST certificate course. You can watch the recording multiple times in the first year. When you renew your membership in the next year, you can attend my live batch without any charges, without government certificate, obviously, but without any charges. You can join one live batch in the year. So this sort of the membership are there. If you are interested, you can visit our website, www.edukating.com. And that's it from my side. And thanking Soman sir for your time and giving the knowledge to the members, to the participant. This is really incredible. And sir, these things we are doing on every Saturday, since long we are doing every Saturday. So over to you, sir, to conclude the session.
Yeah. See, when our friend Mr. Venuvar Prabhu told me that I am also getting added to this group, I said, it is okay. I am very much eager to learn from learned people. And you have this sort of an activity, that is a weekend discussions is going on. I was very much happy as a participant, as a learner. But all of a sudden he said that one day you are becoming a participant. That is a faculty for that. That is an interacting person for a session which is scheduled to be on 6th May. I said, I am not an expert in that. So how can we interact with the people who are knowledgeable and learned all across the country? Will it be worthwhile? Then now I find that I have gained a lot of knowledge. That
Right.
was my value addition. And for that, I thank Mr. Venu as well as yours, Sir Arunji, and all the participants who have viewed us, who have interacted with us across the country. It was a nice experience for me. It's an honor for me. And thank you, each and everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So we can again discontinue.